Welcome to The Coach. I'm Massimo Fontana, and today we're speaking about how to keep a lady in 10 days. Most of us have seen the movie How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and we all hope that we reach the point of getting the girl in the end. But the common experience, unfortunately, is heartache and breakup consistently until we find the person who we hope to grow old with. Relationships are about constant work, which is the first cardinal rule of being in a relationship. So if you adopt the 10-day rule to your relationships and how to keep your lady happy, I assure you that your relationship will not only flourish, but you will both reap the benefits of loving and fulfilling relationships. The 10-day rule can be applied at any time throughout a relationship, be it at the beginning stages, middle stages, or even in a long-term relationship. The essence of the 10-day rule is to create and maintain uniqueness, quality, and mystery in your relationship. 3 things that we always look for but seldom find to the level that we're after. Day 1. Kiss your lady like there is no one else that exists in the world. There is so much intimacy that can be created from just one kiss. Think about the build-up when you are courting your woman. The pivotal moment is when it's time to kiss each other. That moment is loaded with many expectations and hopes for the future of your relationship together. Why not recreate that moment so that it becomes part of who you both are in the relationship? So when you are apart for a period of time, there is such a longing for that passionate kiss that every time you come back together again, it feels like the first time you've kissed each other. Day 2, constant communication. We communicate with our bodies and through language, but more often than not, we feel it only necessary to communicate using language. Learning to feel each other and one another's moods allows for so much information to be gained from this process. This not only brings us closer together as individuals, but equally develops our ability to tap into our partner's feelings and check in to see if they are truly okay. It's a remarkable way of safeguarding yourself and your relationship, as there will be little or no experiences of misunderstanding. If per se there is a misunderstanding, this can be resolved in a few minutes of discussion rather than burying things and adding to the water under the bridge. Day 3. Find a balance between individual and joint space. There is no worse feeling than being smothered, especially by someone we love. Realistically, men and women should be seen as 2 different species, and on top of that, viewed as speaking 2 different languages altogether. Men and women both need personal space to reflect on things so as to gain a greater sense of identity and a greater sense of self. But if things within the relationship are too smothered and there is no room to focus on the individual, it is often the case with men that they begin to feel very constricted and unable to have that sense of freedom. Day 4. Confront everything together. Confrontation is a word that is often misunderstood. When we think of confrontation, we think angrily facing up to something, and maybe it's, in this context, not such a bad thing. Understandably, there is strength in numbers. Now imagine how less difficult things in life would be if you and your partner are fighting from the same corner. You can back up each other's ideas and opinions, agree to disagree, and look for solutions together as a team, instead of being too sensitive that nothing can be said in discussion form. Use this as an opportunity to understand how both of you relate in disputes and arguments. It's a given that because you are in love with each other, neither party wants to hurt the other. So create a platform that anything can be said within the intentional frame of discussing and confronting everything together. Imagine that both of you are in a sailboat. One of you needs to manage the rudder while the other manages the sail. Both are the captains of the boat with equal roles in directing that boat to where you both want to go. Day 5. Never become complacent in making love. When we have the first encounter of making love to our partners, this may be awkward, it may be perfect, and it may be a number of different things. However, when we learn more about our partner's sexual habits and behaviors, we learn to be freer in our bodies and in the manner to which we express ourselves sexually. What follows is a need to make passionate love at every waking moment. Even if this means sacrificing valuable sleep for the sake of togetherness and pleasure. By focusing on maintaining this teenage-like horniness, your relationship will never become boring or complacent. Not only will your woman be happy, but so will you by feeling invigorated through orgasm. Day 6. Sacrifice yourself for her. By no means am I suggesting punish yourself for the sake of her, But there are many moments in life when we recognize that a kind act towards our partners can make them feel a million times better in themselves, so that they are more able to reciprocate and acknowledge us. An example of this is when your wife or partner gets the kids up for school. What stops you getting up before her and telling her to sleep in for an extra half an hour or an hour? Such situations of sacrifice are more often than not reciprocated. So, by being mindful of this, more doors of opportunity can be opened, pressing you both closer together. Day 7. Help her feel feminine, regardless of which woman you're with. And we can identify there are many different types of women out there. A woman feeling feminine helps her connect with her primal roots. This fills her with radiance, energy, need to exert herself more, which all focused in the right direction make her more receptive to you and a more exhilarated and active mother, and awakened creator and nurturer for you. Moreover, this will prompt her to be more attentive to your masculinity and maintain a much needed masculine-feminine harmony within the couple. Day 8. Teach her something new about you. This is vital in any relationship. Otherwise, there is the potential of falling into what I call the honey, I'm home syndrome. How many times do women and men both use the timely words, honey, I'm home, how was your day? The usual answer we get is fine, terrible, okay, etc. By teaching her something new about yourself instead of asking her how her day was, creates an unconscious process of communicating that is what draws us to our partners when we first meet them. In the beginning of any relationship, we always opt for telling the other about us so that we can establish whether there are similarities and what makes this person more special than the next. Not only does this teach our partners something new and interesting about us, it proves to us that we are constantly working on our own self-image, which benefits not only them, but us and the relationship. Day 9. Seduce her surprisingly. Every woman out there has a number of fantasies, but mostly all based on seduction. Surprise can invoke a much needed knee-jerk reaction at any stage of the relationship, especially when it means that your woman has to experience a different style of seduction from you. Artfully and creatively spend time on your seductive powers and assist in her ultimate fantasy being brought to life. Day 10. Tell her not to wear any makeup and show her how beautiful she is to you. You are more beautiful when you awake than most women are in a lifetime. By showing her how beautiful she is without makeup and how you respond to her naturalness is going to allow your partner the opportunity to feel completely surrendered, not only to you, but to the relationship as well. This will allow a new, heightened level of confidence to exude from your partner. It is very important that you highlight that this part of her is incredibly attractive and is something that you are always attracted to, whilst writing how proud you are of her in her most natural state, and always allowing this part of her to be sexualized and acknowledged will stimulate a deep, intimate connection. I'm Massimo Fontana, and this is The Coach.